Right now I'm in a state of mind I wanna be in like all the time. Ain't got no tears left to cry. It's like 30 degrees Celsius in England and Ariana just released a new song and life is pretty sweet. Hey guys, it's Connie aka Noodlebrella and I have had quite the week in my life. It has been a tough week, but we'll talk about that in a minute because today we're going to talk about fixing your skin. But yeah, basically this video was supposed to go up last week, but I got diagnosed with scarlet fever, which is essentially an old Victorian illness that street urchins used to get, and my doctor was very confused. Anyway, other than being tired and fluey, the main symptom of scarlet fever is that you get a pretty nasty rash all over your body, so I didn't feel like I could really make a video about how my skin was really good now. When I had scarlet fever, it would just be kind of tacky. My doctor thinks I got it because I did this event with like loads of small children, but I'm firmly sticking to my belief that I was being haunted by the ghost of a Victorian child, and I'm not gonna be persuaded otherwise. That's what happened. So I've had my exorcism and I'm all cured, but just before we start, I want to emphasize that if you have similar skin problems to me and you don't care about your skin, that's totally fine. You live your life. Not everybody wants or cares whether they have clear skin, and that's cool too, but I personally was getting really frustrated with my skin and I thought, you know what, it's time to figure out how to clear it up. So I've pretty much been planning to make this video for about 2 years, ever since I started having skin problems myself, but I didn't want to do it until I was 100% certain that this technique / method that I had come up with worked. I didn't want to be giving you guys kind of false hope if you have similar skin problems to me. I wanted to test it and perfect it before I went online and told you all that it was some miracle cure, because I am very annoyed by the amount of skincare YouTube videos which are full of these really expensive products and honestly just absolute bullcrap techniques from people who have really good skin anyways. I did not want to be contributing to this phony skincare culture. I'm very against it. But this technique does involve 2 or 3 products which I would call miracle products, but you can get them at pretty much any drugstore and they're super cheap. They're not going to break your bank, I promise. They're just something you probably even have lying around in your house already, to be honest. So you guys probably don't see my bad skin, and I hate that phrase, but I'm just using it for convenience. I'm very good at covering up, and the type of bad skin I have is actually super easy to cover up. And also, I had pretty much perfect skin until I was about 22. So if you develop like any form of acne later in life like I did, don't be embarrassed, this happens. You don't have perfect skin in your 20s, that's a big lie. In fact, most of the people I know who develop skin problems develop them later in life as well. So I'm wearing pretty much no face makeup right now. I've done my eyebrows and mascara and lipstick and etc. But I've kept my skin clean so you guys can see the actual results. Obviously my skin still isn't perfect. It's pretty good considering how bad it can be. So I don't want to give you guys like false ideas of how perfect your skin will get with this. This is about the best my skin gets now. Right, so before we begin my 5 miracle techniques to clear your skin, I think it's important you know my skin history so you can see if you have similar issues, because maybe you don't have skin like mine, so this won't work for you. So I have a skin condition called acne rosacea, which isn't actually a type of acne at all, but they have really similar symptoms. Acne is a sebum and hormone imbalance problem, whereas rosacea is a sensitive skin problem. So basically the skin on my face, particularly my cheeks, is so sensitive and overreacts to everything. So even if there's like a change in temperature, all of the blood vessels on my face are like panic, 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 make spots, panic, and it goes all inflamed and I get these little spot pustules and it's kind of gross and it's just the way it is. Acne rosacea also spreads. So I originally only had it on my right cheek and it slowly spread to this cheek, and then it spread down my chin or on my lips, and now it has reached my nose. It usually starts out as just like a permanent red patch of skin, and the redness is actually really hard to get rid of. That's something I still struggle with, but I kind of don't mind it. I just have these permanently rosy cheeks. It doesn't really bother me. So this is my skin at its worst a little while ago. I think this is actually when I was like, okay, I need to go to the doctor and figure out what's going on. I wish I had a better photo of how bad it was, but if you ever watched any of my vlogs, you probably will have seen peachy face sporty Connie. I thought it was important that I absolutely 100% foolproof tested my method. So I stopped treating my skin for about a week and let it get like this. See how quickly it goes? That was like 4 days of not treating it in a time like this. We are 3 days later from using my technique again, and my skin is like this. So you can see a significant improvement. Can you see the skins? But yeah, you can see there's still like red patches and little spots, but it's much better. So I'm feeling very confident in sharing this technique with you guys now and not giving anyone false hope, which is what so many of the skincare videos do. So these are my 5 steps to curing your skin. Tip number 1, no more makeup wipes. This is the first thing I started doing, and this was actually recommended by my housemate who has super sensitive skin. Luckily it doesn't reach her face, isn't she lucky? Aren't we happy for her? This made a huge difference immediately, not just to my actual spotty skin problem, but also just with how tired I tended to look and how exhausted my skin was. Those makeup wipes do a lot of damage. They're very hard on your skin, they're really harsh, and they're also really bad at taking makeup off. You're probably sleeping with a dirty face and you don't even realize it. You have to really scrub if you want to get the makeup off with them, and that's just going to do more damage to your skin. I know that makeup wipes are much easier and convenient, but I promise in the long run it's not worth the damage that they do to your skin. Like, the difference it made was almost instantaneous, and they're so expensive for what they are. It is ridiculous. So instead I use tip number 2, moisturizing makeup remover. This is what the skincare boxes of people who like actually have bad skin look like. None of that. Oh, it's an expensive product that I got from the butt of a unicorn. I'm not salty or anything. So I switched from makeup wipes to micellar water, moisturizing eye makeup remover, and cotton buds. My technique for removing my makeup at night is really simple. I use 3 cotton pads, micellar water on both sides of the first one, wipe it off. On the second cotton pad, I use the moisturizing eye makeup remover, but I use it all over my face, not just on my eyes. And then go over once more with a micellar water cotton pad to get it all completely clean and off. This is just my technique. Obviously, just use them however you want. Like, I don't think that's part of the reason my skin is better, is that specific technique of removing my makeup I use. Just do whatever you want, but I would recommend these products. I personally use Simple brand products. A long time ago, I had this makeup artist teacher who told me that Simple products are the only thing she would recommend to anyone who has any like long-suffering illness. If you're going through chemotherapy, she was saying that Simple products are actually gentle on your skin like they're supposed to be. So I don't know if that's completely true, but I've always found they were really good for my very sensitive skin. Okay, so next is obviously the thing that you guys want to know the most, which is tip number 3, the miracle products. So when I say miracle products, what I'm talking about is rosacea creams. This one is called Rosacea and this one is called Dermalex. Now you can get these over the counter, they're not very expensive. I don't think either of these cost me more than like £5. Now you're probably thinking, are these gonna work for me if I don't have rosacea? And I thought that too, but I lent these to a friend of mine who had a different type of skin problem, and it really helped with hers as well. So I think it's about the repair complex in them really helps. So I do suggest trying these even if you don't have rosacea, because they seem to just do a lot for your skin. But if you know that you have acne rosacea, then I cannot recommend these enough. Wow, these are so good. So my favorite one is the Dermalex. The cream itself is actually green, which helps instantly with redness on your skin. So basically you just take a tiny dab and you rub it into the problem area. Oh, it's also like really cooling. It has like a really nice cooling effect. So every morning I put some of this on all the areas affected, even if that area is not having a flare up at that moment. You do it as like a prevention thing. And yeah, I do that every morning before I put my makeup on and every night after I take my makeup off. If I'm having a particularly bad flare up, or if the temperature changes like it has now, because my skin does not react well to any shift in the atmosphere, I will also use the gel. So I will put that on just before I put on the Dermalex. I know it says to only use it twice a day, but I will carry the Dermalex around with me during really hot seasons, or if I'm in another country, and I will just put it on anytime my skin is feeling particularly warm, just as like a prevention for getting the spots. But yeah, mixing these two together is like superpower skin protection mode. It is magic, the magic formula. Next is another miracle product. Tip number 4, E45 cream. Aren't you relieved? Aren't you so relieved that the number one thing I would recommend to fix your skin is E45 cream, which is super cheap and you can get it anywhere. And it doesn't even have a smell. It's just like miracle nothing cream. I cannot shout the praises of E45 cream enough. So I get the intensive one that comes in a tub like this. I started using E45 cream because 2 of my friends who have like psoriasis and scalp psoriasis problems started using E45 and completely cured their problems. Within a week, They were no more dandruff everywhere. Yeah, they love E45 as much as I do now. If I could, I would take a big bath in it. I put it on my face, just a little bit, like about that much over my whole face. Pretty much every time I wash my face, anytime my skin feels dry, I'm gonna put some on my arm right now. Oh God, I love E45. I used to have a friend at school as well who, and this all came back to me after I started using E45, but she had perfect skin, and she showed me a picture before she came to my school, and she had bad skin. It was bad. She was suffering. And she truly believes that E45 is what cleared her skin up, and not just cleared it up, her skin was incredible. She was very blessed. I feel like people sort of don't believe that these products that are right in front of them are going to work because they're right under your nose and because they're so cheap, and there's so many people on the internet going on about these like expensive products that you should get. So in your mind you're like, oh, if it's not expensive and it's not hard to get, it's not going to work. But E45 is the magic miracle formula. It's going to fix your skin, and it's right there. It's right there in front of you. And finally, the last bit of advice, which is going to sound so silly, but I really cannot tell you how important this one was for me. Tip number 5, stop sleeping with your face on your pillow. Now, this is the classic thing you hear if you have bad skin. People are like, have you tried washing your pillow? Have you tried using a less aggressive detergent on your pillowcase? But it's like no matter what you do with your pillow, your skin's still bad. And I used to have the worst flare-ups in the morning, so I was like, maybe it is something to do with my pillow. But no matter what I tried, nothing worked until I started propping my face up to the side like this when I sleep. So my hand pushes my face away from the pillow, like this. It looks a bit silly. And also just sleeping facing up so that my skin never has a chance to interact with the pillow. I don't know if it is harsh detergents, I don't know if it is like the pillow gets dirty. I personally think it's the heat, because my skin is so sensitive if it gets hot in the night. So if there's like too much heat, air between the pillow and my cheek, I get a flare up. But as soon as I stopped having my face smushed up against the pillow, my morning super flare-ups went away. So honestly, just try sleeping on your back or sleeping with that prop up technique. But whatever you do, don't sleep with your face down, smushed into the pillow. This one I really noticed. So if I wake up and I've accidentally like moved into a position where my face is squished against the pillow, I will have a flare up. It will be instantaneous. So the best bet is just to not squish your face to the pillow. So those are my 5 tips to clear up your skin. I want to say that the Rosacea, the Dermalex, and the E45 cream are the most important, but honestly, it's all been an amalgamation. If I go back on any one of these steps, then I do get a flare up, so I think they're all equally as important. It's a group effort. They all play a major part in this team. If you guys have any of your own tips on skincare, please do tell me them, but also please don't recommend any super expensive products unless you're 100% sure that they work, and please don't recommend something if you actually just have pretty normal good skin, because you're just gonna give people false hope. And it probably won't help us actual skin illness sufferers. So please, give it to yourself. And if you're just like a teenager who has like a few spots, that probably doesn't really count either, because that's kind of just what happens and your skin's actually really good. Oh my god, okay, I just have to rant for a minute. The amount of these YouTuber skincare videos I've seen where they just like wash their face with some product and they have perfect skin anyways, and they're like, oh yeah, this is my skincare routine. I'm just like, oh, is it? Whatever, I'm happy for them and their perfect skin and their false advertising. I don't care. I'm not bitter. And I'm not jealous at all. No. Anyway, I really hope this video helps some of you guys, because wouldn't that be great? Finding a skincare routine that actually works for you and fixes your skin is amazing. It makes you feel like you have power over something on your body again, which felt totally out of my control, and now I own it. And if you guys suffer from the same skin condition as me, welcome to the family. It's not that bad. We're gonna get through it. So yeah, let me know how you guys get on with these techniques, and I will see you all soon. Bye! It's really hot and it makes it really hard to talk. Stay hydrated, kids. That's another good thing for your skin.